You're listening to JenEric Endtalkers, a Final Fantasy XIV podcast. And now, your hosts, Jen and Eric.
Let's do that again. Welcome, everyone, back to JenEric Endtalkers. I'm JenEric Eric, and as always, with me is JenEric Jen.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
I messed up the beginning of the stream, so I did pretty much everything I was supposed to, except for unmute us. Anyways, and we are joined by the amazingly awesome Gwenwyn.
Hello, how are you?
There we go. Second time's the charm.
Hey. Are we saying that name correct also?
Gwenwyn.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I always worry about that, and I'm like, I should really check, but then, you know, I forget to ask. So, but people usually just or call you Gwen, right?
Yes, that's correct. Gwen is absolutely fine as well.
Yay.
Awesome. And so, yeah, Gwen is a content creator as well. You recently started streaming on YouTube, correct?
That's correct. I haven't fully moved to YouTube yet,
Okay.
but I am testing the platform out
Gotcha.
and just trying to see what they have to offer. Would obviously like to start making YouTube videos, so I thought I'll try streaming too as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So I just do that once a week now on YouTube. The rest of it is on Twitch for now.
Okay,
there
awesome.
you
So
go.
it would definitely help you out for people to follow you over here on Twitch as well. So make sure you do that, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you guys
Yeah.
follow Gwen over here on Twitch as well as YouTube and pretty much everywhere else. So this week in Final Fantasy XIV, what have we been doing? Jen and I have been doing the Omega and
Coils of
the
Bahamut.
Coils of Bahamut raids.
Yeah, which are the Coils of Bahamut are level 50.
50.
Uh,
Omega's 70.
end content or in-game end.
A Realm Reborn in game content.
There you go. And then Omega is level 70.
Yes, and I don't want to talk too much in depth about it. Obviously, we were just playing it right now. I don't want to talk too much in depth about it because Gwen is not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't want to spoil anything because, as we all know, Final Fantasy is known for the amazing story, and it's almost always best to just experience it without spoilers. And I think that the Final Fantasy community is really great at not giving spoilers out. Like
Yes.
we've
Oh,
managed to
they're
make it.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
We've managed to
'Cause
make it this far without spoilers, and I was surprised.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I've been trying to, like, because a lot of my friends stream Final Fantasy, and I was trying so hard to not get something spoiled to myself, because I can't watch their streams anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of
Yeah.
the things that we're actually kind of excited about being done with the MSQ is that people who were like, I'm not there yet, so I can't watch your streams, were like, we're done with the MSQ, so now you can.
Well, yeah, except for there is in the two that we're doing now, which we should hopefully be finished tomorrow, which by the time the podcast is out, it will already have been passed. We should be done with like spoilery stuff, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. And then I have been still very slowly leveling my Dark Knight, and Jen, you haven't really been playing your Machinist at all, right?
No, but the FC has been working on the
Oh,
workship a ton. So
the
we
FC's
have
been doing
a,
stuff. Leoric has been kind of leading the charge with the
yeah, we have an airship now.
airship stuff. What did you
Oh,
name it?
wow.
We named it generic, and then whatever you told me.
So it was
What is the Scions one?
the Scions one is the Bonanza.
Oh yeah, the generic bonanza.
So we named it the generic Bonanza, and pretty much the canon there is that we stole it from them. we stole we stole the
We
ship from
stole
the
it.
Scions. They
Sorry.
finally got one. They finally got
Wait,
an airship, and we
Get
stole
a
it.
ship? You can get an airship?
Yeah, your FC can have an airship, and
No way.
What do you do with? I don't understand
You send
airships
it out
entirely.
You send it out on missions, and then it gathers materials and levels up. So obviously, the higher level you get, the more cool materials you get to make more things in the FC.
But it's like
workshop.
AFK missions, like you have
Yeah.
to
So
use
kind of
resources.
like retainers?
Yes, you send it out on like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
17-hour mission, and then 17 hours later, you're like, okay, what'd you bring me?
Yeah, exactly.
exactly like that.
And
Okay, I see.
I think
Exactly
that they
like
can
that.
bring back like pets and stuff too sometimes, right? I don't know
Oh
if
my
it,
gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if it does what their
Retainers
minions-
can. I don't know about.
Retainers can.
We're still learning about all that stuff right now.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so Gwen, what have you been up to this week in Final Fantasy?
So I'm just trying to kind of push through the MSQ because I just recently got out of the Realm Reborn, like post Realm Reborn, And I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy left me traumatized and with trust issues after that
Yeah.
cutscene.
And you're going into Heaven's Word, so
Yes, I am literally just started Heaven's Word. I'm in Ishgard now, like I'm doing little quests here and there. Met the two brothers and just trying to explore it and kind of I would like to be prepared for Endwalker, but I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen.
It's it
Because we
depends.
have 40 days left.
Yeah.
So do you only do MSQ on stream?
Yes, at the
Okay.
moment I just do the MSQ because I would like to make some YouTube reaction videos like for each expansion pack and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So eventually I want to like edit them all in and post them on my YouTube. So that's why I stream MSQ so everybody could see my experience that I'm going through.
Well, just like a lot of people who were watching us when we started playing through Endwalker, there's certain spots and certain story points in pretty much all of them, but Heaven's Ward and Endwalker, or Heaven's Ward, not Endwalker, sorry, Shadowbringers. Heaven's Ward and Shadowbringers have really, really good stories, and there's definitely stuff that I would like to see your reaction to when you get to it in Heaven's Ward too. So
I already cried so much.
Oh, there's gonna be more tears to come.
But it's so good. I'm actually excited for you. So right now you are a level 55 bard, almost level 56. And then you haven't out-leveled the MSQ yet, right?
No,
Okay.
it's pretty around the same level. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Back when Jen and I first started playing during the end of A Realm Reborn, it was like you could actually get to the point where you were out-leveling the MSQ, so you couldn't just sit there and do only the MSQ to level. You actually had to do other quests, but they've since changed it to pretty much you only have to do the MSQ to get like all the way up to max level and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see your reactions to some stuff, and I'm excited to see what you do for YouTube too. I think that YouTube could use more Final Fantasy 14 content for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely, I agree.
Is there anything else going on in the game? We're probably going to be getting some kind of quote unquote Halloween event, I would assume, at the end of the month. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
I don't remember the name of it, but I know that they do something. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
for that.
and I love that in Final Fantasy, one of the things that's really great is that every year the holiday, the seasonal events, like they're different. Like they're not exactly the same. At least, like you almost always get different stuff.
It's called All Saints
Wake.
Yeah, the first one I've done was the summer one, where you get the polar bear, and that was so fun.
What is it? Moonfire Festival, I think is what.
Yeah, that one.
Because I always think like the FYRE when I think like the fire.
Which is
festival.
interesting because the past few times we've done the Moonfire Festival was like. You're talking about the Fire Festival?
Yeah.
I didn't realize what you were talking about. Ludacris was not involved in that one. No, the previous ones we've done, they actually had like this jump puzzle that was just the bane of my existence. And then they also gave you like these shorts, like the swim trunks and some glasses and stuff, which I think you can get on the Mog Station. Yeah, that's another thing that they do that's kind of neat is that if you miss the event one year, you can wait until the next year and you can buy them on the Mog Station. So that's kind of cool.
I love that.
So Final Fantasy. Before Final Fantasy, what other MMOs have you played?
Oh gosh, where do I start?
You're like, yes, I have.
Oh, my list is very, very long.
Yeah,
actually.
well, same with us too, so it's understandable.
So, gosh, the first ever MMO I've played was probably in early 2000s. And it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it just shows how old I actually am.
Oh, we're old as well, so.
Yeah, I'm nearly 30, and I still kind of live in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it was Lineage, the second one.
Oh, okay.
I believe. Then I found Last Chaos, which is made by Area Games. I'm not sure if that game is still alive, but I've spent many years on that game. I've also played Ion, I've played Terra, I've played Blade and Soul.
That's yeah.
I've played Oh my god, there's so many. I can't even name some of the from the top of my head. Like Cabal, Flee for Thief, something like that. Maple Story. Um,
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
a
the
lot.
list
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
I've practically tried out every single MMO like ever,
That's what we do
except
too. It's
World of Warcraft
really
and Final
Okay.
Fantasy. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's because all of those MMORPGs they were free, kind of, or you just have to
Oh.
pay once.
And
And
then
whereas World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy are monthly payments, recurring payments.
Yep.
So like I couldn't set aside that much money to have that kind of commitment where I'll spend money every
Right.
month, like fixed amount. So only this year, actually, in the summertime, around June, I've installed both games because I was like, I feel like I'm in a pretty stable situation right now. I can afford that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So I literally started playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy at the same time.
There you
wow.
go. There
That's
you
like-
go.
Which is both huge games.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot. Those are games that have been around for
That's a
years
lot
and
of
years. That's a
content you
lot of
got, though.
content. Yeah.
You're never gonna get bored.
Exactly. Yep.
So, Final Fantasy 14. Have you ever played any other Final Fantasy franchise like games?
I have played one of them. I think it was the 13 one on PlayStation.
Okay.
It was one of the newer ones.
Okay.
I can't remember which one correctly, but that and I haven't even gone through the whole game itself. I would love to start over though and like start from the first one and maybe do a series where I
Oh, that'd
played
be
like from
fun.
the beginning.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, and because I do love Final Fantasy so much, I'm literally hyper focused on this
Aw.
game right now.
Yeah,
Nice.
So
for sure.
I'd love to see the previous previous parts.
So there's they actually are re-releasing the original 6 games that are the pixel remakes or
Oh,
pixel
wow.
remasters basically. So cuz the games spanned from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy 6, they spanned across NES and the SNES. And basically they're taking those games and they're upping the resolution of them and everything, but they still look like they used to, but they're a higher resolution and they're just a little prettier. So it's
Oh my God.
you can purchase all of. They're coming out in like one after another. So I think they've released up to 3, maybe 4.
I'm so excited.
But that would be a good way to do it if you're going to replay them. I'm really looking forward to them releasing 6 so that I can replay that one because it's my favorite. And if you don't get to play every single one, I highly recommend 6. Of course, 7 and the 7 remake and all that. But
I would probably start from the beginning for sure.
Yeah,
Just
that's a
kind
good
of work
idea,
my
though.
way up.
and they
Yeah.
don't actually like the stories don't necessarily have to do with one another. So like Final Fantasy 1 doesn't have anything to do with Final Fantasy 2. Like there's different there's things about them that are like, oh, there's chocobos in them. That's
So are they like the same
crystals.
world?
No, they're not the same world.
Universe?
Not the same universe. They are
Oh, wow.
completely different stories, each one.
Okay.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, there's some of them that like Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12 both take place in Ivalice, which, some of them have similarities. Some of them are direct sequels like Final Fantasy 10 and then Final Fantasy 10-2. So those you actually are connected to each other. But one of the great things about Final Fantasy 14 is that it's meant to be a culmination of every Final Fantasy game. So it's almost like a Final Fantasy theme park in that sense. So that's why there's so many crossovers. There's so many characters and stuff like that in Final Fantasy 14 that have appeared in so many other Final Fantasies. But yeah, so you don't actually have to play them in order, but it's still not a bad idea to play them in order. I mean, you can see the way that the game has progressed and changed and everything.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun.
I think, yeah, it definitely would. And I mean, I always recommend Final Fantasy 1 because that was, one of the first games that I started with, and it's really good. But yeah, like Jen and I are in our mid to late 30s, so we're we know about the age thing. So have you only played Bard so far, or have you tried anything else out?
I have tried out something else. I played White Mage as well, actually.
Okay.
I got that up to 43 or something like that. So, but I realized that if I don't run with my group, like do dungeons with my group, I get that sort of healer anxiety. I think it's
yeah.
called.
I can see that.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
where
how I
I'm
feel about
like,
tanking.
Yeah, it's because you're running with other people and you're kind of afraid, like, what if I mess up? Like,
Hmm.
are they, as always, not gonna blame the healer or
Yeah.
something like that?
Well, you don't want
So
that.
it can be nerve-wracking a little bit.
You don't want that, like, not only to get people yelling at you because you never want that kind of
Hmm.
confrontation, but at the same time, it's like I feel like as a tank, I have a certain level of responsibility to
Yeah.
be good
Yep.
enough. And so when
Mhm.
you're new, you have to get past that point where you're actually comfortable. So yeah, I totally get that. That's the main reason that I play DPS usually, is because you don't have as much
Yeah, same.
responsibility.
So
It's
what?
easier to stream as well because you're
That's
not so
true.
focused on the
Yeah.
screen.
That's true.
So what is it about the bard that kind of like? So you started white mage, you went to bard.
Uh-huh.
What is it about the bard that kind of made you be like, let's try this out?
So basically, the way I play MMORPGs, I love ranged DPS classes,
Okay.
and I not necessarily mages, like archers. Like
Mhm.
that's my go-to.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that archer would turn into bard.
Oh,
So when
nice.
people were like, yeah, so people were like, you're gonna start, you can play music in the game and everything. My mind was completely blown.
like,
I
"What?"
did not expect. Yeah, I was like, you can play what? I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
great.
that.
Yeah.
And I've seen people playing Gridania, like, the town square and stuff like that. I thought that
Mhm.
was so awesome. I'd love to do that. So
Yeah.
it kind of, got hooked on it.
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
love that. That's awesome.
So it's you prefer the physical ranged DPS rather than the
Mhm.
magical ranged like caster DPS.
Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna get a dancer later on after I
Oh,
level up my
okay.
bard.
Yeah.
'Cause that seemed really fun too.
Yeah, and then also another one that it's kind of a mixture of both is red mage,
Oh,
because
that's right.
red mage is not only physical, like it's physical DPS up close, but they also like it's
It-
cool to watch a red mage.
It really is.
because it's very
They look
unique.
so fun.
Yeah, it's very unique to any MMO that I've ever played, where you literally have a class that jumps up and attacks in melee range and then jumps back and then starts casting. And I really love the way they implement it. I actually have never leveled a red mage, but I've had a lot of interest in doing that.
Don't they have a oh shit button as well, where they heal themselves?
Oh,
Like
It wouldn't
emergency
surprise
room?
yeah,
me.
it's.
Yeah.
I mean, every class should have one of those, but you
That's
can't say that
true.
that's actually the case.
Yeah.
So you said you started playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy at the same time.
Hmm.
What made you decide to play Final Fantasy more so than you were playing World of Warcraft? Because you said that you kind of went all in on Final Fantasy.
Yes.
What was it that made you do that?
So basically, as all of you know probably about the Blizzard lawsuit.
Yes.
Just when I heard about it, it just left a very, bad taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't put in that many hours in World of Warcraft. I understand that for a lot of people, they've played this for years.
Yes.
And it must be extremely difficult to put down because you have your friends, you have your guildies over there, everything. And I don't blame those kind of people. I love my friends who are still playing the game. I fully support them. I just realized it's not for me though. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't enjoying the game as much after like the whole thing kind of resurfaced. So I thought I'm just gonna push that aside for now, see if I can work through, the whole thing myself, and my morals and everything. And just it's kind of on hold in the background right now.
Yeah, we're in the exactly same boat with that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like Jen and I were saying that we've been playing World of Warcraft. Jen and I played World of Warcraft for 15 years now. Like we've been playing it for a very long time. And we weren't really enjoying it as much. So when the lawsuit had come to light, we were just kind of like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
we started playing Final Fantasy again before that happened, and then when that came to light, we were like, you know what, we're going to shift our focus to Final Fantasy because we were really enjoying Final Fantasy at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
it's a brilliant game.
And so, what do you feel like you were drawn more to Final Fantasy? Like before that, before you found out about the lawsuit, do you feel like you were drawn more towards Final Fantasy, or like did it resonate with you differently than World of Warcraft did?
I enjoyed different things about both games. For example, I'm a collector. I love collecting
Yeah.
stuff. Like figurines, stickers, like you name it. But in World of Warcraft, there's so much shit to collect. Like,
There is.
they have mounts, they have those transmogs, I think they're called. They have pets. It's insane. So I kind of got into mount collection and just like the thrill of running the dungeon, and then at the end, like whether it's gonna drop or not.
Yes.
Like, I've really, really enjoyed that. And Final Fantasy has a wonderful story, amazing community. There's so much to do over there as well. Like, you can also hunt for mounts if you want. Although I wish it was as expansive as World of Warcraft mount hunting is. You
Yes.
know, like more variety of them. Maybe you could obviously you can get some of the mounts from achievements in Final Fantasy, but I wish there was just a little bit more. I feel like most of their like cool mounts and stuff they're actually on Mog Station, which is I was kind of disappointed because that's what I'm really into.
Yeah.
But both games have such different things to offer that I can't really fully compare them side to side, if that makes sense. In some areas, I wish World of Warcraft was better. Like, I know a lot of people were complaining about the latest, I think it's called Shadowlands or something, the expansion pack. A lot of people didn't like the system over there, and there were a lot of complaints, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Especially like from the old players, that it feels too grindy, or like you have to do too much.
Yeah.
You know, you're not enjoying the game anymore, basically. So I don't know. I kind of like enjoyed playing both of the games equally because they had such different things to offer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, we're the same way. Our biggest issue with Shadowlands was I had to pause for a second.
Kai
'cause
said content grout.
it was content
Drought.
Yes,
yeah.
the 8 months between it took them 8 months
And
from
no
the
player
launch.
housing.
Yeah, no player housing.
Dude, player housing for me is a game changer.
But I know
Right?
at the same
It's
time,
so fun.
there are people who don't understand the point of it. Like we've spoken to World of Warcraft players that are friends of ours that are just like, why is it a thing? I don't understand what you do there, but it's literally kind of goes to the point that you were saying that there are very different games. Final Fantasy is a lot more of a social game than World of Warcraft is.
Yes.
It is.
Role playing is a huge
Yes,
part of
role
it.
playing is a huge part of it. The world feels more full because of the different things they have in place.
It feels homier. I don't know if that's
Like-
the right
Yes.
word. Like,
Well, when you
And
go,
community's closer.
the
yeah.
communities are closer. Like when you go to, when you're in a part, and Jen has pointed this out before, when you're in a guild in World of Warcraft, it's not very likely that you're going to run across any of your guild mates just out
Yeah.
running around, questing, that kind of stuff.
Right.
You often won't see them unless you decide to run something together. Whereas in Final Fantasy XIV, if you're not doing anything, you're just hanging out at the FC house, or you're at the FC house tending to your chocobos or doing anything like that. You see your
Or
other
go clubbing.
yeah, or going clubbing.
yes.
You see other members of your FC a lot more often. So it feels like you guys are existing in the same world, whereas World of Warcraft, it tends to feel like you guys are just somewhere in the same existence, but it's you guys possibly being able to run into each other isn't as big of a thing, So
And
Yeah.
it's a huge thing because I play MMORPGs for that exact reason, because I love talking to people. I love playing with others, grouping up, just spending time. So that was actually a huge part of why I was drawn to Final Fantasy as well, is the community.
yeah, for sure.
So, so you mentioned clubbing, and I know that y'all had gone out and hung out last night on your stream. Eric and I, we haven't really recently because we've just been trying to get through the MSQ and get caught up with everything. But we used to RP when we were on Balmung. But we never really got into like the clubbing type of stuff.
It was more the people would have like mixer events, I guess, and they would be like, because a lot of like FCs would have like a like bar in their in their basement of their FC house, kind of like we have in
Our
ours.
FC has a club.
Oh, yours has a club.
In the basement, yeah.
Ours has a
Nice.
dwarven tavern
We have a
in the
tavern.
basement, because we're all about the
Nice.
dwarves. I mean, it's and I don't, like I said, I don't want to say too much about spoilers, so I won't. Once you get to that point, there's going to be stuff that I know is like, when you get to the point where you understand what Lahi is, you're going to be like, it's just gonna pop in your head. JenEricLive. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and then you'll definitely when in Shadowbringers, you're gonna get to a point and you're gonna be like, oh, because it's JenEric and the Lalas, you know. So what race do you play?
I play Makoti.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like Eorze as well, and I know that male Bun Bun is coming out now too, and they're gonna make a bank out of Fantasia. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's funny because
I love so many of the races, and I think that's
Yeah.
like I love my Lala though. Like I have fallen
Oh,
head
that's
over
so
heels
sweet.
in love, but man, I love the Makote. I love.
It's just funny
Rivera,
because Jen
like-
played a Miko for ever since we started
Oh,
playing.
I was at your wedding. I remember.
Yeah, she was a Miko and I was a Hearer. And Hearer makes sense for me because I almost like in World of Warcraft, I played a human. I mained a human even before I started playing a dwarf. So it's like for some reason I'm drawn to humans in MMOs, and I know I'm like one of the 2 people that have that for some reason, but I've always liked to play humans in MMOs. And so I was a Hearer for the longest time, but when like I just was like, you know what, I love dwarves. I can't really play a dwarf in Final Fantasy, so I'm gonna make my own. So we switched to playing, Lalas, and I was just like, Jen was like, I want to do a Lala, but I don't. Like she was on the
I was
fence about
torn.
it.
I was real torn.
But then she switched
I have
over.
love-hate relationship with Lalas.
Everybody does, it seems.
I am all in now that I am one.
Because she's adorable, and Jen is just like her character
It fits my
it
personality
reflects her
very
so
much.
well, and I'm like, why weren't you a Lala this whole time?
I don't
Like,
know.
Honestly, NPC Lalas give me trust issues, and rightfully so from the MSQ.
Yeah.
I've met so
Yeah.
many dodgy Lalas.
Hey,
it's
but
not- it's crazy.
Tataru, if Tataru is
Tataru, bless Tataru.
she
love
is the
her.
She
example.
just gets
She should be
better.
the shining example to everyone. She is the representation of all Lalas. Don't look at any of the other ones. Look at Tataru.
What do we say? Like she's the real Scion. Like she's like
She's the real leader of the
Oh,
Scions.
she's
is what she is.
amazing. Yeah.
So far, what do you think in Final Fantasy XIV? What has been your favorite moment so far? In either the story or a moment where you were playing with your community, whatever it is, clubbing. What do you think your favorite part has
Oh
been?
gosh.
There
Oh
can-
my
there can be
gosh,
more
that
than
is
one,
so
too.
difficult.
That's a big
okay.
question.
So
doesn't have to be one. If there's multiple, I want to hear them all.
So I absolutely love clubbing.
Okay.
I got introduced to clubbing scene actually by Logan, who's in chat right now.
Yep.
LHB. And I've never done clubbing before. And first time I was streaming, and Logan was like, well, there's this beach party going on. Do you want to come? And I went there, like literally, I didn't even open that, like that area was not unlocked. for
Oh
me.
no, you're like,
haven't
we're gonna
been
do
there.
it. Yeah.
So, yeah, people taxied me there.
Oh, that's
Literally,
cool.
people with mounts showed up and like, a little Uber to take me to the
Oh, I
place where
love
the
it.
party is happening.
Awesome.
And when I went there, people were like using those emotes where they're shooting fireworks, those festive crackers. It was absolutely insane. There were so many people there, and I've never seen anything like that before in
Yeah.
any MMORPG ever.
Yeah.
And I was completely blown away. And obviously I couldn't play that music because it was another streamer that was like the DJ, in that
Oh,
place
okay.
and whatnot. And, the MCA and all that stuff. So I was just playing kind of my own music in the background from Spotify. But I had the best time. Like my friends were there. I was talking to them. So like, again, that whole social aspect of it. And I understand why people, when COVID hit, why it saved so many people, because you
Yeah.
could get that sort of social interaction and everything by role playing, by being in this game and just talking to everyone. So I am going to be cheesy, but I think the people and the community is my
Yeah.
favorite part
Yeah.
in this game.
No, we 100% agree. I mean, being people who Jen and I, got we kind of built our following on World of Warcraft when we decided to switch to Final Fantasy XIV. We were nervous.
Terrifying.
Yeah, we were very nervous. I mean, we were like, we're going to be playing this game now. All of our community is like, most of our community is people who watch us because of WoW, but we decided we're
That's
switching.
so scary.
And you know, we did lose people. We lost, you know, viewers who didn't want to watch us anymore.
Naturally, yeah.
But we've also gotten so many new people in our community that are really, really amazing. And it's just like, you know, we feel like we kept the people who were watch the stream for us, you know, more, but at the same time, we just met all of these awesome, kind people in the Final Fantasy XIV community.
Oh, the community is so welcoming.
Yeah, and it's been great. So yeah, I agree with you that the community is pretty awesome. So moving away from Final Fantasy, I want to ask. So where are you originally from?
Oh gosh, that's a complicated question.
Oh, okay.
So I was born in Lithuania, actually, which is Eastern Europe.
Uh-huh.
And then I spent 10 years living in England. That's why I have a little bit of an accent.
Okay.
So it's like a mixture between Eastern European accent and British English. And now I live in Japan.
Awesome.
But I've also lived in Italy as well for
Wow.
for a couple of years.
That's awesome.
So I've been all over the place, really.
That's cool. So what brought you to Japan?
So my husband actually got a contract here.
Okay.
It's a 4-year contract, and we've been here for like almost 2 years now. I don't know whether it's going to get extended or not, but like we're trying to make the best out of it. To like explore Japan, see what it has to offer. Obviously, it's not easy because the COVID hit and a lot of options were taken off the table.
That really sucks.
But because we're here in this amazing country. You know, there's so many awesome things to do, and we can't do them. And a lot of places are actually getting shut down. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Mario Kart thing with the go-karts you can do in Tokyo. They actually were shutting that down. I don't know if it reopens or not. So, because we really wanted to do that as well. I think it was Robot Cafe that I really wanted to see. They got shut down because they couldn't just, you know, get any people in because of COVID. And I was so disappointed. But we also visited a couple of places when the restrictions were lifted. Like we went to Osaka, Kyoto, and you know, just like sort of around the Tokyo, we explored a lot of Tokyo actually. Akihabara, which is the anime capital of Tokyo, basically. That was absolutely amazing. We went there for my birthday in summer, and I got so much stuff from there.
Oh, I love that. That's so
so
great.
much stuff.
Have you guys been
'cause I
able
love
to?
collecting.
Sorry, have you been able to check out the Mario World or whatever at Universal?
Not yet. That's definitely on my list. I really want to go there.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I've seen some videos of it and stuff, and it looks really cool.
It looks so good, and I'd love to make some videos about it as well. Because I said I'd like to do like a live stream of Tokyo, like when I go explore Tokyo, visit some places to eat, maybe, you know, and stuff like that. But I just need to figure out the logistics because obviously I have to use mobile internet, and you know, my phone's kind of old. So I need maybe like a better phone, you know, get some, you know, better camera going and stuff like that. So I just need to figure out a little kinks here and there. But I do plan on doing that too. I think it'd be fun.
Okay, so are you aware of the Eorze Cafe?
I am. I have been there.
You did? Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I was going to ask. That's what I wanted to know. You've been there?
That is so
I
cool.
got my Moogle plushie.
Oh, wow. Did you take
From
photos?
I did. I have so many pictures. I haven't posted them yet, but it was so fun. It's such a good place. And we absolutely loved our time there. And I'm going back, and I'm gonna ask them because I was so shy, and I didn't want to. But I'm gonna ask them if I can like take some videos because I asked them if I can take pictures, and they said yeah, that's absolutely fine. So I took pictures, but I was wondering like next time I'll go there, I'm gonna ask if I can like take some videos.
Yeah,
and
for
just,
sure.
When
footage.
you were in a unique position to produce an awesome YouTube video. You
Oh
can,
yeah.
I know.
If you can,
I'm down.
I need to use this time wisely.
Yeah, I would watch it. So I would definitely watch that because that's one of the places that I've always wanted to go. Like ever since I realized that it existed, I was like, oh, I gotta go there. That's really cool.
That's super
So
cool.
many people are like that too, and I understand how privileged I am to be in this position. That's why another thing is why I want to share this experience as much as I can because I know so many people would love to be in my position right now. So it's amazing that I can actually show them this stuff, you know, and share my experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, you're talking about doing YouTube content and stuff like that. That would be a great video, but also at the same time, if you did like a vlog of your like, life in living in Japan, I would watch that too.
Okay, let me just tell you, that's
Jen-
what
that's
I watch
Jen's
on a normal
bread and
basis.
butter right there.
Okay, I am a foodie. I watch lifestyle vlogs. Like, I love seeing like all of the things. Like, I cannot think of her name right now, but like she does like a day in the life, but like doesn't even like I have no idea what she looks like because she doesn't record her like head.
Right, I've watched that. Is that on TikTok? Because
They're they're all over the place.
Yeah,
I know
I watch her on TikTok.
I think that there's a couple of them that do that same type of style, and I just like because I can play a video game on one screen, and then casually just watch them going through their day and cooking, and like oh, I got to go to the grocery store, like I don't know, like I just eat it up, like I think because it's the same as what we do, but it's still different enough to be like, oh, that's intriguing. I need to see this.
And Jen had gotten me into watching street food videos, like just all over the world, but street food. And I like it when they don't talk. I don't know why, but I'm the kind of person that's like, as it just film the street food. And like, there's this one channel that's the
Dancing Bacons
is what they're called. And they don't talk. They only just put text at the bottom, and they'll say like, "Oh, this was very good. It was sweet," that kind of thing. But I was like,
it's Dancing Bacons. So one like dancing, and then Bacons is plural.
Yeah, I just sit there and we'll just
Japan has great street food.
I would
Amazing.
imagine. Yeah, I've actually
we went to the fish market. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
We went to the fish market and I had the best grilled tuna there. Like they grill it on the stick.
Wow.
Like can skewer it through. Yeah, and it was so good. And we tried sea urchin, like buns, steamed buns with sea urchin, and that was really gross.
It sounds gross.
I mean, I'd probably try it though, because like when else are you gonna try that?
Well, because the part of the urchin, right? It's the roe that is inside of like the inside of the urchin. Yeah,
the orange. Yeah,
it's that. Yeah, I grew up in Brownsville, Texas, which is on the border of Mexico, and it's about 15 minutes away from South Padre Island, which is an island, obviously. And so I grew up going out there, like going out to the jetties and just like reaching under the rocks and pulling sea urchins out. Like it was just easy. They were everywhere. And I think that I had tasted sea urchin once, and I was like, I hate seafood anyway. So
yeah, that'd be very
seafood,
fishy.
but yeah, it was extremely fishy. I love seafood, but that was too much.
So moving over there, is there like a new like favorite dish that you make often that you're like, oh, like I'm gonna make this for the rest of my life once a week, or like does that make sense?
Yes.
On that question?
Yes, it does. And I do have that. So basically another way that encouraged me learning Japanese is buying cooking magazines here.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have a lot of those, like just for home cooking, and obviously I can get products and everything in their supermarkets, so it's super easy. It's not like I'm in Europe again and I have to like specifically source an Asian store where I have to buy all this stuff.
Right.
So it's very easy to make at home. I love their stir fries, and one thing that is really amazing is yakiniku. So it's grilled basically meat, very thinly sliced grilled meat. You do it with sauce. You can do it either, they have these little burners that you can buy, and you can grill it at home, or you can go to a restaurant and you like grill the meat, everything yourself. That little cooker is literally installed in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice group activity as well, because everyone's just kind of chatting, doing it, grilling it. So that's one thing. And another one is called shabu shabu, which is a hot pot.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we bought that whole hot pot kit and stuff. So we cook it at home. We just place it on our table, and you get all the fresh ingredients, boil the broth. I'm not so good at making the broth, so I usually buy the ready-made stuff for the broth and just add the fresh ingredients. And that's my favorite thing that I will definitely love to do when we leave.
Yeah,
we've wanted to try hot pot, but we can't really find it around.
There's not any in our town.
There's not any in our town.
There might. I don't.
Yeah, it's hard.
So we do know that there's one of our friends loves hot pot, and she was like, I got this hot pot that we use on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, should we do it? We're like, Because it's
She
kind
did.
of like
She did hot pot streams.
it's
It was
kinda like-
Migo's Moo is who we're, the streamer we're talking about. She
It's-
did hot pot
yeah.
streams. That
it's kind of like
I actually want to
fun.
do some cooking streams.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That'd be
Yes.
cool. We're going to be doing a cooking stream because our community helped us hit a goal. So yeah, we're going to be doing a cooking stream here soon.
I
Jin's
bought the Final Fantasy cooking book.
Oh, yeah. We still need to. We bought the World of Warcraft cookbook, and I don't think we've made anything out of it. We still need to try
No.
to make some of the stuff out of
We
that
do.
because I've always wanted to look into
We
make some of that stuff.
It's so fun.
But yeah, I think Jin. Have you revealed what we're making for the?
We're making risotto.
We're making risotto.
Ooh.
Because Jin is a member of the Twitch Women's Alliance, and they
Yay.
did a thing where they had some of the members of the Twitch Women's Alliance get together, and they provided a cooking class for them.
Yeah, and the
That's
lady.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
great.
so cool. The lady who did it was from Italy. Like she was from Florence.
Aw.
And it was so like my mom was in the kitchen with me, and there were several times we were like, "What did she say?" Because like her accent was so heavy,
Accent.
and we're like, "Oh, she
Yeah.
grabbed the garlic." We're like, "Okay, let's grab."
But it's
that."
like it's funny
it
because
was
it's
so
like
good though.
Jin has learned how to cook risotto from an Italian chef. Like,
Yes, I have.
That is so cool.
Directly.
That is so cool.
so we're gonna try our hand at cooking it without the directions of an Italian chef on stream.
I just thought it was a super neat thing, and it is time consuming. But I felt like with the right directions and like being patient, like I feel like anybody could do it. So I thought it would be a
Right.
good and it's kind of time consuming too. So I mean, cooking stream needs to take time, right? So I thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be a good thing. Be like, I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese. All right, done in 10 minutes.
So, besides Final Fantasy or MMOs, really, are there other games that you like to play?
Oh yes, I've actually been playing League of Legends for a very
Oh,
long
okay.
time.
Okay.
Like maybe 4 or 5 years,
Mhm.
and I've gotten pretty good at it. Like at one point I was even diamond, usually
Wow.
like kind of around platinum, but yeah, once I hit even diamond. But I noticed that game brings out the worst in me.
Okay. Rage.
So it would affect it would affect my mood, and it was just not a good time. I noticed that I wasn't having that much fun anymore playing that game, so I kind of stopped playing it like about 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
And then Pokemon MOBA came out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Called- yeah, Pokemon Unite, and I started playing that. And it's fun. It's really good. The matches are a lot shorter than League of Legends, so and there's not that much pressure to be like good at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 So
More
I
of like a
noticed that I'm not as
casual game.
aggressive. Yeah, exactly. It's more like not so competitive.
That's cool.
Although
How is that?
I
how
still
is-
rage.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, any video game. I've been playing the Uncharted series. I started playing Uncharted 3 because I realized that I had it, and I was raging at that game. Like, I'm pretty sure our dogs were getting scared because I was just sitting there cursing up a storm because I kept dying at this one spot.
We all have our like we have our chill hangout game like Final Fantasy, and then I feel like everybody has to have that one game that's like, but I gotta just go
Yes.
shoot shit.
Gotta
know?
shoot shit.
Like
Yeah.
How's that Pokemon game being received? I haven't really seen any kind of like reviews on it or anything.
So it's pretty good because it's a free game,
Okay.
but you can spend some money to get extra stuff. So like they're called like monthly boosters or something like that.
Okay.
So that's where it gets tricky because
Oh.
you can get advantage by spending some money in game. Because you upgrade the items and everything, and you can
Okay.
pay to get them quicker. Like you can get everything by just spending time in the game.
Yeah.
But if you want to speed the process up, you have to spend some money. And a lot of people are very unhappy about that. And it's quite reasonable so because they get advantage when they play against you because their items are higher stats.
Yes.
Right.
So that's one issue that people have with it.
Now that you mention that, I remember watching the streamer / YouTuber Moist Critical Charlie. He made a video where he was just spending a crap ton of money to
Get
Yeah.
boost
like,
those
get-
characters. Yeah, and he was just wrecking everybody because of that.
Yep.
He was like, "Yep, that's
It's
definitely
kind of broken.
It's a pay-to-win game,"
Aw.
Yep.
which is unfortunate.
It looks
Unfortunate.
cute though. I pulled it up on one of my
does.
monitors. It looks super cute.
It's so fun. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, so I couldn't, not try it.
Yeah, like why? Like like you had said, it was free. So like, what's the worst case scenario? You want to install it, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's free. Just try it. It's good for like some casual gameplay here and there, but I
Yeah.
haven't been playing it that much. I play a lot of Pokemon Snap, like Sword and Shield, like those
Yeah.
type of Pokemon games.
I haven't played the new
Um,
Snap yet. I played it when it was on
oh, it's so
64.
fun.
I played on 64
It's
as a
so
kid, so
good.
I've got that nostalgia, but I haven't played the new one yet, so I really do want to.
Oh, they're
think you
so
should, yeah.
cute. Look at them.
We should get it, Jen. I think you would like Pokemon Snap. It is literally the purpose of the game is to take photos
so
of
chill.
Pokemon. But it's not like you're just
Most
like
of these Pokemon butts, they're always turned around.
That's
it's
funny.
not like you're in a studio and Pokemon are posing. It's like you're in this little cart and the cart moves through the level and the Pokemon are just doing stuff off, on the sides of the cart and you're
Oh,
taking
okay.
photos of them
There's secrets too.
in the wild. Yes.
secret
and
areas.
it's something that they had in the original Pokemon Snap. They had the exact same like secrets that if you throw a certain kind of bait, it'll lure out a Pokemon.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's a really
Or
fun
make
game.
them do something.
And I'm
Yeah.
surprised that
It
it took
is.
them this long to make another one, honestly.
Yeah. Animal Crossing is another one that I love to play. Stardew Valley. So like those are my chill games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We got I feel like the entire world got into Animal Crossing right at the beginning.
Oh,
at
yeah,
the beginning
pandemic.
of the
Yep.
pandemic.
Yep.
I actually did not have a Switch at the time, and I wanted to get one for that.
It was so hard.
I
It
ended
was,
up
yeah.
I ended up getting
the
a
shortage, right?
I got a light,
She
which
got a Switch Lite.
is unfortunate because we can't we
Stream.
still can't stream
Right.
Nintendo games with that. So eventually I'll have to get like a full out regular Switch.
Yeah.
I actually got extremely lucky and I was able to get my hands on the Animal Crossing edition Switch.
Oh, cool.
And my husband actually got that for me, and I was
Aw.
crying. He handed that to me because it was a surprise, and I literally started sobbing like a
Aw,
baby.
That's
so
awesome, though.
sweet.
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
So besides video games, what do you have any other hobbies that you do?
Well, I like to draw, but not professionally, like more like relaxing kind of way.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
pastels, oil paint, acrylics, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
like traditional art, but I dabbled a little bit into digital art as well.
Okay.
And that was really fun. Quite a large learning curve, obviously, going from pen and paper. But it's really fun. I love to do that.
What were
And I
you-
also like arts and crafts
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Like miniatures. I was thinking
Oh,
about making
nice.
some videos on those because
Heck
Japan has a
yeah.
lot of miniatures.
That's cool.
So yeah, I bought a couple of sets where you get to make something really cool. And I thought maybe making a couple of streams of those as well. So it'd be more like a chill, calm,
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
ASMR-like kind of stream.
That's awesome.
So what were you using for the digital art? Like, were you using a tablet?
Yes, I have a Vacom tablet.
Oh, okay.
It makes things much easier.
So were you using it? Is it one of the Wacoms where you can you're drawing on the screen, or is it one of the Wacoms where you're
Yes.
drawing on the?
It's
you're-
the screen one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I do art as well. I'm a digital artist, and
Oh, nice.
yes, and I use an iPad because iPads are actually super good for digital art now.
Oh, they are.
And so I bought an iPad.
I love Procreate.
Yes, Procreate's fantastic. But I started out with using the Wacoms that were you have the actual peripheral, but you don't look down and draw on it because it doesn't have a screen. You just draw on
I
it, and
know.
you have to look at your monitor. And the learning curve there is way like it's real difficult than actually being able to look down and see what you're drawing as you're drawing it.
Yeah, that sounds completely different.
Yeah, they've moved more away from that as time has gone on. They still make those, but I think more people get the
Want the
tablets,
screen.
yeah, with the screens on
Right.
because it's easier that way.
Oh, so much.
And then you also play D&D, right?
Yes, I do. I actually quite recently got into D&D. It's been only a couple of years that I've played it. And we had a nice group of friends here who actually we play with, but they moved out, so now I don't have anyone to play with.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's always the worst. That
Yeah,
the pandemic
it's sad.
killed D&D for in-person D&D for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
I know
so
there's some digital groups as well that do
Yes.
that. I've never tried doing it digitally, so I don't really know how that works. But I watched a lot of streamers do it too, and it looks really fun.
yeah, Roll20 is a really good site for that.
Do you both play D&D as well?
We do. When Jen and I met, she played D&D, and I was more of like I played like the World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade stuff. But then I got into D&D because of Jen. And yeah, we've been playing D&D for years. I usually DM, and then she'll play the game.
Oh,
But she's
that's
actually
awesome.
she's dabbled in DMing too.
Yeah.
So what class do you prefer to play in D&D?
Oh, I usually go just Hexlock, Warlock. You
No,
know?
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's just so fun. I know it seems boring to some people because they're like, oh, you just spam one skill, but I actually enjoy that class, and I've gotten into a lot of funny situations with it as well. Where like I cast Eternal Darkness, and the whole party is blind, and that was my first mistake because I didn't realize it's gonna affect my party
Yeah.
members. Because I was new at the game, and I nearly got everyone killed.
Oh, awesome!
It happens. It happens.
You're not having a good time playing D&D with your friends unless you're almost killing everyone. I mean, that's
Oh yeah.
that's kind of how it works. But yeah, and it's like Jen always plays a cleric
I do.
because she heals in everything that she plays, pretty much.
It's like it's what I know, so it's comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
So yeah, when we get to the end of our episodes, we always ask our guests the same question, and we are going to pose that question to you. In your experience, because you are newer to Final Fantasy XIV, in your experience, what if you could change one thing about Final Fantasy XIV? What would it be?
About Final Fantasy?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy
Probably,
XIV.
I don't have anything to change. The only thing I could change is that I wish I started playing that game sooner.
There you go.
You would change that about yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's almost
'Cause
always
I've
the
been enjoying
case.
the game so much. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about it, to be honest. Because like, I've just been enjoying playing that game so much. I don't really have a lot of critique to it.
I mean, that's good. That means they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're listening to their community
Yes,
as well.
they
Like
do.
they're very responsive. I love the developers of this game.
The shining proof that Square Enix is listening to their community is the fact that they released a game, everyone hated it, and then they destroyed the game and re-released it.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, that shows that they're actually listening. And then Bun Boys, yeah, of course. They're like, yeah, that's not in the lore. Okay, fine, we'll change the lore.
We'll add it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll fix it just for you guys because you guys want to be Bun Boys. So where are the best places to follow you? What platforms would you recommend people follow you on?
So, obviously I have Twitch channel. I just made a YouTube channel now as well. I'm very, very active on Twitter. And I do have Instagram as well. I try to post a lot of pictures there from Japan and like my travels and everything,
cool.
which I haven't done much,
No.
granted. But I keep updating it. And so if you want to keep up with all of that kind of stuff, feel free to follow me on any of those.
Yeah.
And we will have the link in the description of the podcast and the YouTube video as well. So y'all can click on that and find those links there.
Absolutely. And Gwen, thank you so much for being on our show. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me here. I had a lot of fun talking to both of you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited and I now want to travel.
Yeah. I want to travel again.
I mean, I always want to travel, but like really want to travel now.
Yeah.
And as always, thank you for everyone who joined us and hanging out in the live recording. If you're listening to this on any podcast platform, we appreciate you guys and appreciate your support. Every other Friday, the episodes go up on YouTube and everywhere where you can find podcasts. But we're gonna pass it over to Dorf to end the episode, and you guys will hear from us soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. JenEric Endtalkers is recorded live on twitch.tv/JenEricLive, where Jen and Eric also stream a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, as well as a few other games. And as always, keep your forge hot and your ale cold.